In this video, we're going to look at how complex numbers and complex conjugates can be dealt with algebraically, just to help you understand how to multiply them together. So first of all, z star, what that refers to is the complex conjugate of z. So I'll just briefly explain what that is. If z is equal to x plus iy, we say the complex conjugate of z is equal to x minus iy. The easy way to think about it is you keep the real part the same and you multiply the coefficient of the imaginary part, which in this case is y, by minus 1, just like I've done here. Once you've done that, you can express z multiplied by the complex conjugate of z as the multiplication of x plus iy and x minus iy. I know there's a 3 before it, but we'll deal with that afterwards after we've expanded this out. So x times x is x squared, x times minus iy is minus ixy, iy times x is plus ixy, and then iy times minus iy, you have to be careful here, you might even want to write it out, but it'll be negative and it'll be I squared, y squared. Now I squared itself is equal to minus 1, so you can write this as positive y squared. That xy coefficients cancel out, and this leaves you with x squared plus y squared. That's what z multiplied by the complex conjugate of z is. If you now multiply all of that by 3, that will be a factor of 3 larger for each individual term. So in this case, it will be 3x squared plus 3y squared. If we now think about the modulus of z all squared, well, if z is in the expression of x plus iy, and we plot this on an Argand diagram, where the real axis is represented like so, and the imaginary axis is like so, if we go x along, and then y up, the modulus would, well, we're using Pythagoras theorem, it'd be the square root of x squared plus y squared, right? So we can say that the modulus of x is represented by the square root of x squared plus y squared. In that case, because we're dealing with the square of the modulus, we can square both sides, and we can get that the square of the right hand side becomes x squared plus y squared. Now that we've got everything together, we've got 3 times z times the complex conjugate of z, which is this expression here. We've got the modulus of z all squared, which is this expression here. We can subtract them. So the one on the left, and you have to be very careful because there's another minus in between, which means that we're subtracting all of this, x squared plus y squared. We're not just subtracting the x squared. 3x squared take away x squared is 2x squared. 3y squared take away y squared is a positive 2y squared. And that's your final answer to this expression. Hopefully it all makes sense. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoy the video and subscribe. I'll post a lot more content relating to A-level further maths in the near future. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it helped. If you have any tutoring inquiries for A-level further maths, be sure to hit my website up at www.excellineducation.co.uk.